Is going to Santorini worth it, especially in this day and age with all the Instagram influencers, tourists in general just flooding the island? Whether that makes it less enjoyable, I spent 5 days there last fall, and as you'll see, it was simply an incredible experience. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Madison, here to talk about all things travel, Disney, dance, musical theater, things that interest me, and hopefully they interest you too. Quickly, I do want to point out that I wore this shirt because it's blue, and I wanted to wear a blue shirt because Santorini, island, ocean, it just screams, blue. It's from Free People and it just wrinkles. It wrinkles so badly, but it is what it is. Anyways, okay, let's get into the video. So Santorini is a really controversial place, I'd say, to visit because it is a small island in Greece. Now, with the rise of travel influencers and people posting just generally on social media, the blue domes, it kind of became a thing, and it's gotten so overcrowded. I can attest, I've actually been there twice, that there are sometimes when there's so many people in like a little alley, there is literally just nowhere for people to go. Now, here's what I think is not worth it. Doing Santorini just as a cruise stop. And I think this is where a lot of the issues are coming from, with people saying, oh, well, I went to Santorini, it was so crowded, it was hot, I didn't like it. Well, the problem there is if you are doing it just as part of your cruise, that does sound like a miserable experience, because the cruises, they come in all around the same time, multiple a day. They're all letting off in one spot, Fira usually, which is then everyone trying to get up and down, because really to get, once you come in to the island from a boat, like you have to find a way to get up, it's elevated. And that is where a lot of the issues come from, because it's so congested just to even get up and down. And you notice that all the people who are coming from cruises are either doing similar tours or going to similar locations, trying to get similar photos, and so that's where it becomes so crowded, and that sounds miserable. Now, the alternative is to actually go to Santorini to stay, and that's what was recommended to us, and I'm so glad we did it, because everyone, when we said, oh, we're gonna stay there for like multiple days, people are like, what is there to do? Because most people do think of it as that cruise stop, because obviously all of the cruises are saying, oh, you can do it in a day, there's not a lot to see. But immersing yourself in actually going and staying there is such a different and wonderful experience. So first off, you can actually get up in the morning and just walk around, and there's no one out. Because all of the cruise ships, there's a site you can go to actually see when they're gonna dock and let off, but that starts around 9, but that's pretty early, usually 10 or 11 a.m. And walking around Ia with no one around, when like you've seen the videos online of just it being so crowded and you can't even move, but like walking just along the streets, there's no one around, it's so serene. It feels like an island, and it feels like you're the only one there. It's incredible. And when you go not on a cruise and you're staying there, you can simply just avoid the hottest times of days, or days when there's so many people crowding around in those specific areas. Like we would walk around, you can start to tell at 10, 11 a.m. so many people are coming in. There's a huge influx of people. It gets super crowded. Like we'll just go to lunch or go back to our hotel. And then you can get back out in the afternoon, usually less crowded. And then at night, the sunset, yes, it's very crowded, but if you're staying there, you can also walk around more and find other places to watch the sunset. We ended up just like walking down to kind of this gravel like pit where we just stood. We were, one of 6 people standing there watching the most incredible sunset you'll ever see. But a lot of times, again, if you're with the cruise, if you're doing that kind of tour, you're like stuck in your one location where everyone is, and it feels like overcrowded, and that sounds like a terrible experience. So I definitely would recommend staying on the island for multiple nights, at least 2 nights, to actually like see what it is without the overcrowding and without all of the cruise tours and all of the people there, because it is very beautiful, serene, very peaceful. I think it's still worth it to go, especially if you stay there and you can actually immerse yourself. You can actually avoid those overcrowded times. You can see how peaceful it is, how beautiful it is. My favorite quick little Santorini story is that the last day we were there, we were having breakfast, and it was very, very unusual. It was just a little cloudy outside. So there was some clouds. It wasn't raining, there was just some clouds. And our waiter, who's obviously from Greece and works in Santorini during the months that it's open, was like, this is the worst weather I've ever seen. This is horrible. Like, you know, I'm sorry your day is ruined. And I was like, 3 clouds in the sky, like that is the worst weather you're gonna get there. It's perfect. Would 10 out of 10 recommend. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. See you all next time.